Today I'm going to check the water pump on my Porsche 986. I decided to do this because I have no idea how long it's been in there. Bought the car recently. And they are a fairly common failure point. Added to that, when they do fail, they cause big problems. Some people suggest that you need to replace them like every 30,000 miles or even less than that. Seems extreme to me. But nevertheless, I do want to check it and kind of keep an eye on it, because when they do fail, they cause major problems. At the very least, I'd be stranded if it failed. And potentially, it could cause damage to the engine. But at the very least, you're looking at being stopped and potentially overheating your engine, which are both pretty bad things. So for that reason, I'm going to pull it apart and check it. It's quite easy to check. Should only take me about 10 minutes, so there's no reason not to do it. To check it, I've already pulled the front seats forward, gotten this carpet and the access panel off so that I can get to the front of the engine. I've also taken loose the serpentine belt. If you don't know how to do that, I do all of that in the video where I replace the belt, so you can check that out. I'll put a link somewhere. But once you have access here, front cover's off and the belt is loose, the water pump pulley is down here on the right side of the car, passenger side of the car. It's kind of the lowest pulley that the belt goes over. Once you find it right here, there are two things you're going to check for. You're going to look and see if there's any signs of leaking around the water pump, because that's a common sign that they're going to fail. If you have to add coolant, that's a good sign it's leaking. You can take it off and confirm that it is. The way you tell if it's leaking, the antifreeze will actually kind of leave like a crusty residue where it leaks, so you might not actually see any wet spots, but you can see kind of the crusty parts of where it's leaking when it's pressurized. It may not be leaking though, it may just be a little bit loose. There's a bearing there, and that bearing usually fails. So if you feel any play in it, that's another sign that it's bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and get a better shot of this water pump. That pulley right down there is the water pump pulley, and right now I'm trying to rock it back and forth, and there is actually a very small amount of play. You probably can't see it, but I can feel it rocking a little bit, so I think I will replace the water pump out of an abundance of caution, because if there is a little bit of play in there, it's only a matter of time before that becomes critical. The good news, however, is that I don't see any residue. So it hasn't gotten to the point where it's leaking or anything like that. It's probably just on the tail end of its lifespan, getting close to failing, but not quite there yet. So I'm gonna put everything back together, order a new water pump, and I'll probably install that soon. So look for that in the coming weeks.